Hello and welcome to the very first posting of my video log of my new Automower. We call this one Roberto. That's because Robert and Roberta were the names we chose for our last two. You might wonder why we had three, but we don't. We've moved to this house and the first thing we did was ask if we could have another Automower. The problem we saw were these enormous dips, solid walls, and of course that dreaded tennis court with its steep banks. We were convinced that an Automower just couldn't hack it. We called in our favourite supplier down in Wiltshire called SMH Quads, and he said absolutely no problems, go for it. He was the guy who'd looked after us for several years at our last house, and he reckoned that this wouldn't present a challenge. And you know what? He's proved himself right. It wasn't quite as easy as we hoped because we needed to do some serious planning. This patch in front of you with this rain catcher on a manhole was in fact a flower bed. We decided that that would be too complicated for this new lawn, so we have grassed it over. It's not doing very well at the moment, that's because of the lack of rain, but the lawnmower doesn't seem to find this a problem and is mowing straight over it. And in fact, since it's been mowing over it, the grass seed has taken slightly better, and we can only put that down to the fact that the Husqvarna doesn't actually mow the lawn, it nibbles the lawn. And it doesn't need picking up all the nibbles, they're just left there. And we think, but we can't prove it, we think that what it's doing is it's self-fertilizing the lawn. Over the next few months, we're going to be looking, and particularly at the way the Automower puts up with the stresses and strains of children, dogs, chickens, and the occasional human in this garden. There's lots and lots of obstacles, there's lots and lots of challenges, not least this horrendous looking ski hump, which again used to be a bank and a hedge, but for simplification we've ripped it out and we've grassed it over. All in all, this is a challenge from hell for the Husqvarna, and in 6 months' time, if I can show you this again and prove to you that it's worked as well as my last mowers, not only will you be amazed, I will be delighted. Just look at the terrain. I'm sure the video isn't doing it justice, but I'm telling you that it's a 4-foot, 5-foot incline vertically to that trampoline over there, and that trampoline is only about 30 yards, 40 yards away from me now. Because our garden is so steep, so rough and ready and rather large, we've chosen the 450X. It is the top of the range. This is the GPS controlled model. I can control it from my iPhone, and I can do lots of other things with it because it is the top end of the model, the top end of the range. But you'll see how it's behaving in this very steep and confined area between the tennis court and the kitchen garden. And certainly you need a top-end model for rough and ready ground such as this. Smaller gardens, there's a whole range of smaller machines, but we've chosen to go for the bigger one simply to get it all done. Machine's been in for about 3 days now and seems to be working very well. In future videos, as I said, we will look at the various aspects, the installation, and specifically the way it's coping with the terrain and really how well it performs. But do remember that I've had these machines before, and I was so impressed with them that it really is a no-brainer when it comes to having another one. That tyre, by the way, is there to stop the machine from getting stuck under that tree, which it's done once or twice, even in a couple of days. So, but it bounces off the tyre. So if ever you've got an obstacle, I can recommend a tyre as being a useful way of stopping him going where he shouldn't go.